Okay, we're live.
Hi guys, can I have my TV on, please? Welcome, welcome. It's Wolf Day. Thank you, Brittany. Oh, you got me rubbing my eye. And it's stuck there. The live stream cameras, the cell phone stuck.
We're both fine. It's just your computer.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
Oh. Hello, hello, hello. Wow. It's under the stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got plenty of stuff on my desk today, I'll tell you. I almost overslept our class today. I was having trouble getting to sleep, and the next thing I knew, Bryce was coming in and saying, "We are streaming today, right?" Oh, yeah. Well, that's in 15 minutes. Oh. Yes, decked out in purple for the occasion. Okay. Let's look at what we're going to do. I'm so happy with these. I do need to polish up a bit, though. You are going to want to have your little... When we work with these, when you're done, you're going to want to polish them up a little bit because we're on Mirror Magic. Here's our first card we're going to do today. My stream on this side is way behind. There's our first card.
There's so much glare.
Huh?
It's hard to see with all the glare.
Maybe you should turn that off today.
Well, it's the big lights.
Oh.
Better holding it up at that angle.
This is our second card. And it's a little bigger than we're used to, but we're adaptable. It's a 7x7 because it's a big topper. Hi, Betty. Hi, Mary R. Hi, Patrice. Hi, Alice. Hi, Diane. Hi, Andrea. Hi, anybody else that I missed? Okay, so let's get going, shall we? You know, I will say, when I showed these to Jordan on the phone, she said, "You chose to keep these really simple." And I said, "I did, because the artwork is so fantastic in these, and with the Mirror Magic, it would be overdone if we had too much detail on them." Hello, hello. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Betty. It would be overdone if we had too much embellishment on them. So I chose instead to do layering that brought the colors out. And that is how we're going to proceed. Let's start with our DL card. I love this close-up of the wolf's face. It's beautiful.
I didn't get to see the wolf face very good because of the glare. Can you hold it up again and keep
Yes.
it at an up angle?
Yes. This is what we're going to make right here.
It's better. A little better, right? Okay.
Can we turn this light over here just a little bit to the side so we get kind of some... There we go. There we go. So we get light but not direct on light. Is that a little better, guys? This Mirror Magic, we'll have to watch our lighting carefully because I want you to be able to see, and these are pretty fantastically shiny. Is that better? Good. Okay. Okay, we're going to start with some black mirror board. So we will cover our card in black. So let's do that first. Somebody asked me if we are going to have kits available on these, and the answer is yes, we are going to have kits. My New Year's resolution is to get a little further ahead of you guys so that I'm not making cards
The night before.
the night before or 24 hours before you guys get to see them and get my kits out there so that we can start working together again, because that's kind of crazy, but you know, so taking a little bit of time off over Christmas. At least we will be taking Christmas Eve, so we won't have a live stream. That's next Thursday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we will not have a live stream next Thursday. We will do a Saturday, and then we will take off New Year's Eve, and we will be back the following Saturday. So hopefully, because I'll be down to one live stream a week for those 2 weeks, maybe it will allow me to get just a little bit ahead of you with our projects. That's my thinking anyway. And then, like I said, my New Year's resolution is to try to stay a little bit ahead of you so that I can do show and tell and give you guys an idea what's coming up and just get further ahead again. It's been kind of a crazy time around here with our shortage of staffing, but I don't regret our decision, because I want to keep us safe and you safe, and by only having those in the warehouse right now that I know are social distancing and taking care, then I know, Patrice, yes, the luxury kits have 2 of everything. So they'll have a luxury set has, oh, do me a favor, hon. Get the wolf off the top there. It should be right at the top of our sets there. It will have 2 each of all 4 sets in this kit. And in this particular case, I think I'm going to do all 4, because I think there's going to be something in these kits that appeals to everybody, because we have a lot of people. Yeah. And then I want some of the inserts too, please. There's 2 each of them there. I just need 1 each of the inserts.
Yeah, but you've mixed them up.
So, we will, you can just hand me all the inserts if you want, I can go through them. We will have we have the fairies and the unicorns and the dragons left to go. And today we will have show and tell, because, thank you, because I already completed a second set, and I will show you those at the end today so you can see what's coming up. Okay, my DL Mary and my black are almost identically sized, and well, I want this to be an inset topper a little bit, just a little bit of weight showing. I gotta get rid of. Well, I do want this to be, just a narrow margin to allow room for wolves. That's a little narrower than I want, so I'm going to take off. I think I'll start by taking 1/4 of an inch off this. So let's go to 3 3/4. And I'll try that next. That's going to be a good border. And then I'm going to need to take 1/4 of an inch off the length. I'll try that, which was not enough because it needs a bit more. There we go. Let's see, how's that? I am going to say this is going to be a job for tape flags rather than glue. In fact, I'm going to use very little glue on this Merry Magic because of the fact that your glue bottle is not going to stick as well to Mary. Glue doesn't really have anything to hang on to because it's not rough at all. And let me tell you what my dimensions were here now. So this ends up being 3 3/4 by 7 3/4 to get our correct margins. And make a piece of blue paper here. Because I haven't put my kits together, I'm kind of making a kit on the fly here. I will have the kits put together. Hopefully, Brittany and I will be able to put a couple of them together here. And next day. Okay, I want this blue to be slightly smaller than the black. So I'm going to go to, oh, do I want that to be 1/4 inch? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's do just a little less than 1/4 inch. I'm going to start this one at 3 5/8. Let's see how that looks on my black. Let's, oh, you know what? I may just switch my layers here. I had first I could do it the way we had. I think I'll switch my layers and see what happens if I put the blue right next to and see what I'm doing. I cut my blue to be closest to the wolf instead of my gold. We'll see how this looks. I can always go back to the other way if I like it better. But I switched my order. I think it'll be okay though. Boy, this popper's amazing. I think this is going to be just fine with the blue right next to him. Let's just switch the order. I'm going to cut, yeah, the last one was 7 3/4. So I'm going to go to 7 5/8. Let's see how these look. An 1/8 up. You're going to have little bits of trimming to do to get these little narrow borders, guys, but I think they're worth it because it ends up truly matting these images. And we're not going to do a lot of other stuff to these images, so our colored mats are going to carry the day and let the images speak for themselves. That's going to work. Okay, so now I need my wolf. My last layer was 3 5/8, so I'm going to cut my wolf to 3 1/2. Maybe just a little 3 3/8. Get the cut straight. May not have gotten it cut straight. Try it again. Did not get it cut straight. Okay. Mine's going to be a little narrower than I wanted. I didn't get it cut straight, but that's okay. We'll be fine. I'm going to end up with a little more margin than I had last time, but that's the way of things sometimes. Okay, we're going to have a little tiny piece of this gold woven ribbon. What are you doing over there?
Making noise.
Bryce is over here dinging and dinging.
Do what I want.
I'm going to put, because this woven ribbon is pretty transparent, I'm going to put my tape mostly on the ends. And leave a piece in the center where I don't have the adhesive. Only ends up being a little gap because our image isn't very wide. Okay. There we go. All right. I haven't wrapped a single gift yet, guys. I'm gonna need to get busy though. I won't have time to make them pretty. Oh, did I cut that? I didn't cut that yet. I'm gonna cut part of it off the top anyway. Let's see. Boy, I'm kind of a mess here today. I'm sorry for that. I gotta move this tape.
Cut it off the top anyway.
I'm gonna cut some of it off the top. I don't want to cut his ear off. But I put my tapes too low. Okay. Now it's gonna show. Boy, this getting ready at the last minute. It's not something I want to do again. Because then I make mistakes. And I don't like to make mistakes when you're watching. Okay. All right, so this one was, this blue was 7.5. So this one, I'm going to start with Teddy.
Oh.
This was 7.5.
Andrea says, Debbie, for shame. After making all those beautiful bows.
Yeah, it is a shame too. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Alrighty, I'm going to put my wolf image onto, no, I'm not. I'm going to put my ribbon around first.
There you are. Ours says, they understand. You're among crafty friends.
Thank you. Okay.
Betty's still waiting on UPS, USPS for several things.
Yeah. Oh, some parts of the country are ridiculous right now. Boy. There are areas where mail is sitting in local hubs for a week or more. So far, Portland actually getting the mail out and getting our mail in Portland, knock on wood, seems to be doing okay. But there are some regional hubs out there where you guys are really getting sad service, and I hate to see that. Because then you don't get your stuff from me timely, and I don't like that at all when we're getting it right out the door to you. I haven't seen Maria sign in yet, but Maria, if you're out there, I haven't forgotten you. I just haven't had a chance to get back to you yet, and I had some questions, and you have some questions, and we'll get the rest of your order out to you. Speaking of getting orders out timely. Okay, I've got my ribbon wrapped around my wolf. Boy, that's got a lot of fingerprints on it. Got my ribbon wrapped around my wolf. Most of my adhesive is underneath. I have one little bit here what's going to get covered up. That is going to get covered up. You like my grammar there? I have that. What's going to get covered up? That's going to get covered up by my little push out topper. Which one did we use on this? We used both head. There we go. And this card has the little the writing on this little button says leader of the pack. Okay, before we put this on here, we're going to add some tape flags. Oh, I'm glad most of you are getting your stuff really early. Hi, Roberta. Welcome, friend. Oh, you're gonna love these cards, Roberta. Nice to have you back, Alice. You're gonna get it, Annette. You're going to get your snowman kit. Really, really. Oh, the rest of you will get yours as soon as I get done listing that. Anybody else that wants one will be able to get it after I find them in those big find it trading boxes that came in. Listing all that's been a slow chore. Hey, and speaking of find it trading and listing that stuff, remember with our tape flags, guys, we're moving it, we're stripping it down just about an inch, and we're pulling our tails out to the side. Speaking of find it trading and listing stuff, lots of you guys are asking about the double stick tape sheets, the heat resistant sheets that were coming from Find It Trading. Well, I just got an enormous number of them in, and that's the good thing. The question arises from the fact that they are now packaged differently, and the packaging no longer says heat resistant. So I don't want to list it as heat resistant until I bring a package of that out here and actually try it with our technique to make sure that it is really going to be heat resistant before I say that it is. So hang on for me just a little bit, guys, because that's the holdup. I want to know that if I tell you it is, that it really and truly is heat resistant. So that's what I have going on with that. Okay. And I will try to get that done. I don't know why I couldn't do that tonight. So I'll try and get that done tonight so that I can get those listings activated. But I got enormous numbers of those packs in. Let's just hope they really are still heat resistant. Like I said, the last packaging said, and this does not. So, and it's got a different backer on it. So let's just make sure. Jeez, you're so funny. You see what her comment is, honey? I'm getting so many boxes, I'm going to have to take a break in ordering. My Santa is being too good to me, and hubby's noticed. And she said, of course, I placed an order right before I said that.
Oh, Mary asked if her credit card was smoking, and she says it's already turned to dust.
Oh, you guys are funny. Crafting more and ordering less. Oh, for shame. Okay, here we go. Well, I'm not going to do any huge sales, I don't think, in the next little bit. We're just going to try and list and have available things we have. So I'll probably take it a little easier on you guys for a while. Although I do think I'm going to do a special coming up on gift cards. So you'll want to watch for that. And that's a good thing to pass along to your family and friends if you're interested. Oh, this is going to be so pretty, guys. So pretty. I hope you guys can see everything we're doing here. Really, really pretty. Oh. Oh. No, Hunkydory sale is still active, Brenda. And in fact, with What's New Wednesday, the 2020 Christmas collection, everything that's Christmas 2020, is moved up under Brits Bargains. And we are going to, I already put everything on sale 10% off. And then your Hunkydory sale coupon will take another 10. So you get 10 plus 10 on Hunkydory Christmas. And you guys know that because we sell Christmas all year, I don't do like a after Christmas sale on Hunkydory because we keep selling it all year long. But I did put 2020 Christmas on sale because we got such a huge order in our last order that we needed to make some room. And say we'll stop. And Debbie will show us something fantastic and we'll shop some more. Hunkydory sale wouldn't work on my order, said it was expired. Let me check it. Patrice, can you check that for me? You probably, yeah. You can't check it. I'll check it. Bryce will remind me when this is over, and I'll check it. If the Hunkydory sale coupon shouldn't have expired, but if it did, I will fix that because it wasn't my intent to expire it. So I did watch What's New Wednesday. I tried the code cart today. And okay, I will take care of it, Brenda. As soon as this broadcast is over, I will take care of reactivating that code because that was not my intention. So I will take care of it. And if you put in an order and it wouldn't work, Patrice, I will adjust your account. Okay? So so I will take care of that. And if anybody has an order in, I'll take care of your orders too. So I'll look those over, okay? Because that should not be the case. This looks just as good with the layers reversed as it did in the original. I'll show you both. Then you can set your layers however you like. Okay, I will take care of all of you. Yes, I do apologize for that. That was not my intent. Okay, I'll polish this up a little bit so you don't see my fingerprints all over it. Oh, so pretty. Oh my gosh. This wolf is so mystic looking. Tell me if you're going to be able to see. I'm going to show you both of them side by side so you can see the difference in layers. And you can see both without too much glare the way I'm holding them.
That one over there gets a little bit more glare. Just about perfect right there, don't move.
Okay, I'm going to hold these here. I'll take care of you, Patrice, if you gotta... If you've got an order that didn't get its discount. I sent you a link, Brenda, for the Dot and Do 120. Okay. There you go. Oh, aren't those beautiful? Now, again, I didn't do a whole lot making this card other than just let the art speak for itself with our matting, but I do so love it. Okay, this next one is going to be super duper easy since I find my blank card. Oh, it's right under it. We're going to do this one next. We'll need our gold mirror board. And we will need our topper, and I'm going to tie a little single bow. Now, because these could be masculine cards, I took it really easy on the bows. Somewhere here I have a bow maker. I only have 40 of them on this desk. I took it easy on the bows and rhinestones. It probably will not be that way when I do the unicorn cards. If I have to assign a gender, I'd say the wolves and the dragons could be more masculine, but the unicorns and fairies, those are gonna be pretty feminine. Because, you know, a couple of you, for some reason, your accounts got unsubscribed from email at one point in time or another, and I reactivated them. But in order to reactivate an account that the account holder, that the email holder has deactivated, the law requires an acknowledgement on your part that you really want to reactivate, and they send you a confirmation email. If you don't open and acknowledge that confirmation, no matter what I try to do on my side, they will not reactivate your email address. That's to keep spammers from reactivating accounts, but for us, that is inconvenient. But you can understand why they would want that requirement in place. And if we've talked about me reactivating your account, you need to look back and find that acknowledgement email. One of you, I tried to reactivate again last night, and it says we're awaiting confirmation. It wouldn't even let me send the confirmation email again because it says this person's deactivated. One possibility might be, and it wouldn't be the best possibility, I will acknowledge that, but one possibility might be that we may want to create a Gmail account, because you can get a Gmail account for free, and we may want to create a Gmail account so that we have a different email address that I can send stuff to, and then we wouldn't have that issue. It's the email address. Oh, okay. Oh, it's the that email address is no longer valid unless I get the confirmation that you want it reactivated. So if you're still having problems with emails, we can absolutely try that for you. Okay. Let's see. This time, isn't this just the most amazing background? We're only going to use a small piece of that, but I'm thinking this may come in really, the rest of it may come in really handy when we do the unicorn cards. So please keep this handy. I think we'll probably use it with one of the others, either the fairies or the unicorns. I need a piece of gold mirroring to cover my cards. So let me get that out here. Okay. I'm going to yes, that was the new little bow maker, Diane. It's just really handy when you want to put together a quick little one. And one thing that's nice about that newer set is, you know how wide the teeth are on your other one? This allows you to kind of do one that's kind of almost halfway in between what we couldn't get with the bigger red one, because the teeth are skinnier. You give up the ability to use heavier material with it, but what you gain is the ability to do some additional sizes. I am going to put together, shortly after the first of the year, we will have a bow maker class using the new little bow maker. Several of you have asked for that. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that together. The color in the Merry Magic Mary sits on top of silver. They use silver mirror board. And that's what they say, although I swear it looks to me like this might almost be printed on gold. Is the ribbon that I just tied thinner than the one I put on the last card? It's exactly the same ribbon. That I used for this. It's called a woven, I think on our website it's called Woven Gold. It's really pretty. It's from Mayarts. And it's kind of expensive on the rolls, but in the kits, because I'm giving you just what you have to have for the cards, it doesn't add a great deal to the cost of the kit. So that's one of the values to me of the kits, is that you get just what you need and you don't have to buy extra stuff, and I'm not necessarily adding to your stash. You know, you pretty much use up the kit contents most of the time, right along with making the cards, and there's no guilt associated with adding to a stash if you already have a plentiful stash like most of us do. Myself included in that number. Oh, I need to put some best glue on this. We'll get this working while we're waiting. Or while we're working. We're not waiting, we're working. But you notice that I kind of pulled my tails out to the side on this bow. I liked it that way, and then I tipped the bow at an angle. I'm not doing a lot of other artsy things to it, so putting the bow on at a bit of an angle, that's my big artistic touch there. So I pulled my tails out kind of at odd angles here, which you can do. Okay, my card is 5 inches wide, I believe. We always measure because we never really want to take that for granted. And this is 5 inches on the nose. I want fairly thin borders on this one, so I'm going to start with 5. I'm going to go to 5 3/4 when I cut this width-wise. I'm going to cut my length at 7. I want my length to be 7 3/4. I really like the tree in the top of this, so I'm actually going to take most of my cutoff on the bottom. I like the tree hanging up over the top of the image and kind of wrapping around. And the other thing that does, and you may not be able to see it too much here, but see this mountain coming up here? This mountain will almost continue in the photo. So by trimming it the way I just showed you, all I'm doing here, guys, is I didn't push my blade against my cutter, so I have a little rough edge I'm going to get rid of. So I'm literally just taking this little strip off, which you can only really do with this paper cutter or one that's as good as this one. I took that little strip off. Okay, so I've got my card covered. Oh, I got a lot left to cut off. What did I just do? Gotta cut off some more. I thought I just cut that off. Didn't I just cut that at 7? No, I didn't. Oh, I'm still. No, that's it. Oh, oops. I needed to go to 6 3/4. I went to 7 3/4. So I still gotta take some more off. There we go. 6 3/4 will work better than 7 3/4 if you want to get it on a 5x7 card. That'd be beautiful. That'd be beautiful. You know what we're going to do after the first of the year, too? I just got the supplies in for this. We're going to make some exploding box cards after the first of the year. I just have to decide what we're going to put on them. You guys know what the exploding boxes are? They're the ones that you give it in a box, and then you take the top off, and all the layers fall free, and it has scenes inside. I do some exploding box cards. Okay, I'm using my tape flags. I'm exposing about 1 inch of my tape so that I can position this carefully over my scene. I do see something I want to trim off. I got a little bit of tape hanging over the bottom, and now while the paper will disappear, I don't want that adhesive showing on my project. So I've got my card all positioned here. There's Miss Lauren coming in. Hello, Lauren. We're making wolf cards. Okay. Uh-oh. I don't know where we got makes 5 cards. This only makes 3 cards. How did I get makes 5 cards in there? This makes 3 cards. I'll fix that. Fortunately, nobody bought kits based on that because I haven't had kits available yet. So this only makes 3. I was surprised that there were not enough toppers in this set to make more cards from this. And I used most all of the supplies, although there are a few little extras that I may use on one of the other kits. Okay, now now I am going to put my topper on. In this one, it's a 3-piece topper set. I'm going to use the black ring, and I can't really avoid using glue on this one. I could use little tiny narrow, super narrow tape, but I'm going to glue it and chance it. But you could, if you had little 2mm or 3mm tape, you could put little bits of tape on this black and gold outer ring. This is the one I'm talking about. I'm taking the gold ring out of the center, and I'm going to save that for a different day, a different project. Okay, and we're going to I guess, in my original, it's true confession time. Because I measured it wrong, I actually had taken a little bit of my mirror image off the top here, because see how much further it's hanging down. So I guess I had to, well, maybe not too much though, just a tiny bit off the top. Yeah, so I'm going to glue this ring in place, and this ring is going to go almost border to border on our card, which is fine. And it goes, it's going to be a tiny bit higher than center to allow room for, it's really actually right at center. But we're allowing room for our bow at the bottom and room for our little button topper at the top. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this ring. It's funny to have a card class now where so little is actually glued, because I've been gluing a lot lately and haven't been using my tape flags as often, but this is definitely, today's class is a time when those tape flags are really, really useful, especially with all this layering we're doing on these. We're going to put some foam squares under this beautiful wolf family. Your kits this time are going to include the inserts. I'm going to send the inserts with your kits this time, because I think the inserts for this particular collection are just almost as beautiful as the images. So this time inserts will be included. So pretty. And I want to show you how we're going to insert these, because there's a couple of them that we will do between these and the other kit I have finished, where we're going to insert them just a little bit differently in order to make the most of our insert sheets. So I'm just centering this. I took the gold ring out because it allows a little bit more of that background scene to show. And get my topper off of here, and it says, "There is no greater bond than that of family." That's the little button I'm putting on the top. I'm going to put that up on some foam squares too.
Let's say hi to Susan.
Did Susan sneak in? Hi, Susan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you out there. Excuse me?
One of the computers is down.
Making noise.
Hear it?
Yeah, I did hear it. Okay. All right. Now my bow is not quite ready. It's getting close, but it's not quite ready. So when it's ready, I'm going to kind of put my bow at an angle here at the bottom. Okay. Right here at the bottom of this card is going to be done, but I'm not going to stick it on quite yet because it's still got a little bit of white showing. And remember, with the best glue ever, we want that to be completely clear before we stick it on, and then you'll get better holding power. And the best glue ever does just fine on these cards. In fact, if I had chosen to work ahead and think about it, the best glue ever would have been a good choice for that ring. You know, as I said, I was putting glue on it, even though it might not stick as well as it could. Okay, let's go ahead and insert this one. The insert I chose for this card is this big wolf family insert. Now, that is gorgeous. It's really, 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 really beautiful. And I didn't want to cut it off and just show a tiny amount of that. So what I did with this card today is I used a double insert. Now, there's going to be a bit of trust me in this when I tell you how I did this. You know that I usually cut and insert just the sides for the back panel, and then I stick it with one piece of tape right at the, right before the fold line. I doubled the size and I put one piece of tape on either side of the fold line. If you try to tape it up here and here and here and here, when you open your card, you're going to get this weird buckling, and that's not fun. By double inserting it like I just did, it will be beautiful, but the card will open to a maximum of about maybe a little over 90 degrees. And that's how I chose to do this. Oh, I did a little buffering there, but yeah. But it does look gorgeous. And so it opens far enough that you can still write on it and things, but you won't get that weird buckle if you don't attach this and this. Just attach it, and you can see that it opens just fine. It's kind of almost more like a Hallmark card where you have the white paper here and here, but it opens just fine to the inside of your card. So let's see. In order to get the part of the image together that I wanted together, what I did is I trimmed a tiny bit off this end, right where his tail is, and I trimmed my insert to where it came right up to the end of the wolf's tail. And then I cut my insert to 10 inches wide. So I could, and let's go ahead and get our length. Where did I take that from? I took all of the excess from the So I cut this to 7 by 10. Then I folded it in half before I inserted it. Make sure my insert is right side up. I don't know how many of you have done that, but I've inserted them upside down before. And I'm going to open my card. I'm going to very well. I put a glue on a mat, and then I folded the edge of the insert in the glue, so I just got the very edge. Good idea, Patrice. That's a nice idea. Thanks for sharing that. That's fun. I always like new techniques. What I'm doing here, I put one strip of tape to either side of my fold line. Okay. Now, that might stop the buckling, what Patrice is doing. I'm not sure. But yeah. Okay, I'm going to take my folded insert. I'm going to push it right up to my fold line. Right in there at my fold line. I'm going to close my card. And even though I've measured, now I'm going to need to trim my little bit of extra off because that happens. And we have that beautiful wolf insert in our full card. Okay. Isn't that beautiful, that insert? My gosh, that's pretty. All right. Let's put our bow on. It is now ready. I put my bow at just a bit of an angle because I liked it that way. And there we go. There's our beautiful wolf family card. And that one is now inserted. Let's bring our other one back and put our insert in it. With this one, I didn't see any reason why I wanted to insert the full wolf scene in this one, the full scene, because this one's right on the edge anyway, so I just inserted this my normal way. But it does look beautiful when it's in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put my tape line down. And I usually just put a tape line right at the edge of my card. Right at the edge of my fold line. You guys, send all my upside down cards to my friends in Australia. Oh, you guys are so funny. Okay, put my insert in, trim around it. There's only one thing about these Tim Holtz scissors that if I have one thing I dislike, is that the scissor cutting action is so strong that with my Scotch scissors, I never really worry about snipping into my card because I can feel it very much with the Scotch scissors. It doesn't want to do that. With these really powerful Tim Holtz scissors, I can't necessarily feel when I'm going to snip into my card. And so I'm having to learn to cut with these. I think I explained that somebody on Amazon sent these back saying they didn't work. So I brought them out here to try them because if something truly is awful, I'll take it out of my store and donate the inventory and I just don't sell it. Well, I wanted to see if these were really as awful as the person on Amazon said. They're great, and I've been using them since. But and you guys know that I like my cheap Scotch scissors too. But yeah, they are powerful. The serrated edge in there really grabs and cuts, and I have had to learn to be careful because they cut so easily. Okay. Let's see. What's Susan getting? Oh, yeah, Susan and her upside down cards. Okay, let's do our 7x7. I'm actually probably going to get you guys out of here on time tonight since we are only doing 3 cards. I know Brittany brought me. Oh, they're still in the package. I was going to say, I know she brought me a 7x7. This is a little bigger than we're used to, but it's really pretty, and I didn't want to. We actually do have the London Bridge. That's true. They do. They do have the London Bridge in Arizona. Okay. Oh. And that's Santa's going to be skipping a lot of houses. And Patrice says that I figure that's why I bought myself a bunch of stuff. You guys are so funny. Okay. Now we have this beautiful piece of cardstock left from the wolf image that was down the side. And I like... This is not going to surprise you. I like this purple galaxy kind of look to this. So that's the side of that I used, and I cut it along this black line. You could go the other way, and it wouldn't really change the appearance of your card too much. You just get more purple by inserting the purple edge, so or by using the purple edge. I am going to trim that a little bit, though, because I cut that. I think this is where I cut it and I didn't push my blade against my machine and it just kind of looks a little rough there. So I'm going to make sure I've got a nice straight edge and I'm going to push it. You always, with these Caterpillar, you always want to push your blade against the machine to get a nice clean cut. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover my card. Even though this is an extra wide card, I'm still going to use 3 pieces to attach it because I think it's plenty. You could use 4 if you chose to. I'm using 3. Patrice says it's kind of hard to hide her naughtiness, so she just embraces it. We knew that when you came up with number 5 for just finished my brownie. Speaking of which, where is Thelma tonight? We haven't seen Thelma. Hope she's not having problems with her computer or not feeling well. She maybe just forgot. Let's say she forgot. We'll hope so. Because we want everybody feeling good, getting healthy and happy and staying safe. Okay, let's put our cardstock on there. Okay, I'm gonna. Did I really get to the name? Was my cardstock uneven? It's flat against my card though, so was my cardstock cut at an angle?
No.
I'm gonna end up with a weirdness on my edge. I'm gonna do something I tell you don't do. I'm actually gonna take my card off of my paper because I have a very odd angle here. And because I have, don't do that. Normally don't. Just work around it. But it wasn't going to work around it. I will show you what I was concerned with, but I'm going to show you on this side. I got this on here, and it was all cattywampus, the cardstock itself, which was weird. So something's not straight. Maybe I have an odd angle in my cut. I don't know, I may have to cut it from the other side. Yeah, okay. For some reason, my line isn't straight here. And I can see that. So, I'm going to line up against my other edge, guys. Now that I made a big deal about retaining all the purple, I'm going to line up against my other edge because my edge is off kilter for some reason.
Say hello to Mary Glasson.
Hi, Mary Glasson. How you doing? Okay, start that one over. It's okay to run really late this time of year. You can catch up with the rest on the replay. Okay. That was weird. It doesn't happen to me very often, but because I had a straight line here, I knew if it wasn't straight, my card was going to be all cattywampus. I didn't want that, so I just started over. Cheers! Thelma's signed in? Okay. Good. Good. Just want to know she's here and healthy. I worry about you guys, all of you. As you may have known when I sometimes write to you and say, where you been? You okay? Hi, Karen Williams. You get to become a regular. We want to know where you are, that you're all right. Now, you won't get that in other classes. Yeah, my cardstock really was off. I don't know how I did that, but that's okay. It'll work just as well from this edge. Okay, well, that was a whole lot of rigmarole, just getting the card covered. But I'm going to take my border piece off of this one. I used it last time because I had that little narrow black border and I felt like it needed a little bit of something. Now I have a wider black border, but I'll use my border piece anyway because it's still pretty. And I'm going to tape that right along the edge. I have not posted the recipes in the card exchange yet. We had a really disappointing response from both. Although we did get a few recipes. I'll make sure those go up. I have to look and see if we have. I'll put the card exchange up too, but we're gonna have to look and see if we got enough ugly stamp signups to make it worth doing, because we didn't get much. I know this is a time of year when you just don't want people giving you deliverables, and so that may be it. But we didn't get a lot of response to our recipe exchange or our virtual cards or our ugly stamps. If there's anybody that still wants to put them in, I haven't matched them yet. So feel free, go ahead and get those up. If you get them up over the weekend, I'll still put them up. And I will get the recipes and the card samples up though, and then we'll just have to see whether we're going to do the ugly stamp exchange. Okay. This one looks so complicated. I love it. It looks so complex and it's so very easy to do. Okay. All right. Well, if you have to choose, Patrice, do the orders. If you have to choose, then do the orders. Okay. Take your 4-part frame apart. We're doing the wolves getting ready for the hunt here. There's one tiny little narrow piece. Be really careful when you punch that out, because it'd be really easy to bend that one. Take those all out. And we're going to break our frame into 4 pieces. I'm going to tape this outer piece just because it's wide enough that I can. And then I'm going to post this outer piece I'm glad to hear that your family and you are feeling better, Mary Glasson. I'm putting my finger lift tape on my frame. I'm just going to put it on 2 edges. 2 edges is going to hold it really well, and it'll give me a little bit more control when I put it down. In fact, I may even try a little tape flag kind of technique to allow me to put it down without getting it too stuck till I'm sure I got it where I want it. So this is going to come to the very edges and just barely beyond the edges. It should still fit your envelope okay, but it's actually going to poke out just a tiny bit over your edges. If it will not fit your envelope, you can trim off the edges that go over. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When we make this one, see these little pokies? Go barely over the edge. And if that bugs you, or if it's not going to fit your envelope, you can trim those off and it won't hurt a thing. I left them, but you don't have to. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my square frame, my next biggest piece, and I am actually going to glue this one. And I am going to glue this so that the points are like, left my glue bottle empty, or empty, uncapped. So had to run a little pin down it. I'm going to put a thin line of glue on here. And I'm going to put this one on square. And I'm going to use the little corners that hang over. You'll have a little triangle in the corner that you can use to make sure you're getting that on nice and square. See my little corners here? I'm using these to make sure that I get it on just right. So those 4 little triangles in the corners should look nice and even. Next, I'm going on the angle again with this one. It was fun to have a 4-part frame this time. That's unusual for them to give us 4-part. We often have a 3-part frame, but this is the first time in a long time I've seen a 4-part frame. And I'm putting just a very thin bead of glue around here. And then I'm going to match this to my first frame. So once again, I'm coming in here and I can use those same triangles on the corners to make sure I'm getting that nice and even. And I like the way that looks. And now we're going to put our wolf. We're going to put this up on some foam squares. 2 reasons. We want the dimension always. We love dimension. But it's also because we're gluing those little frames in place. The foam squares are also going to help keep everything where it is. You know, as I said, glue does not hold as well on mirror board because it doesn't have any texture to grab a hold of. So we are going to... Not really that tidy. I'm looking for my foam squares and throwing things away as I go. I have them here. We really do have foam squares. Oh, they're there. That moved way back. Okay. Rob is a girl. Rob is Roberta. And I think she's on here. How are you faring with the snow up there in Maine, Roberta? Huh? Yeah. I'm using 2mm foam squares. I almost always, Susan, either use 2s or 3s. 3s are fun too, and we don't have those in Hunkydory, but we do have those from Hobby Journal that are the same same size in terms of the 5x5mm, but they're 3 they're 3 millimeters deep. She was here. I will see her again, I'm sure. Sometimes she tunes in and out. Okay, so I put just a few foam squares on it. And these foam squares are actually going to not only, like I said, help with the dimension, they're going to help keep those pieces underneath tacked on nicely too. So oh, look how pretty that looks. How simple was that for something that looks so beautiful? Let's get our little, we have a little square. This one says sending love and best wishes. And we're going to put that up in the corner here. Now, because we have used so much of our space, this one's going to overlap that the upper corner just a little bit. I'll put it on here and then show you again so that you can see. Oh my gosh, Roberta says they have 3 feet of snow today. That's a lot of snow, Roberta. Holy cow. Wow. That's a lot of snow. Yikes. Well, hello, Humberta. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, and Roberta says there's more on the way. Oh my gosh. Oh, the wolves are so pretty. It is so nice to have you with us. So I'm going to overlap that corner just a tad with this little square. We don't have any, but we're in Oregon. No snow here. If we get any at all, it's usually in January or February, usually February. We don't get much. We just get rain. Rain and rain. Okay. And which one did I use? Oh, I know what I used. Okay. This is the insert sheet that I used. This one right here. And I just put it in normally. I used the remainder of the wolf face for my insert. Then we'll go ahead and insert that. Oops, we only put one piece usually on an insert. Wow, there's snow all over the country, isn't there?
In Colorado, all the way to Maine.
Yeah, wow. We get excited about snow on those rare occasions when we get it. But then I think I told you guys we have 4 flakes or the threat of 4 flakes that close the city out here in Portland. So it's probably best we don't get more than we do. We'd never get anything done. Okay. Got my insert in and trimmed. Let's recap and take a look at our 3 cards we finished. Which I would do if I knew what I had done with them. I'm a disaster today, guys. What did I do with them? Oh, they're up here. Okay. All right. We did our wolf. We did our wolf family. And we did our... So here was our first one. Here was our wolf. Can you make sure my angle's good for the glare, honey? That good?
The back was a little bit. Tilt it towards you. The top towards you there.
Yeah? No?
Try tipping the top forward, maybe. Maybe a little more, just slightly more.
It's going to glare no matter what. Okay, Brenda says it's perfect. I'm going with that. So here's the first one. Here's number 2. You are going to love these cards in person, guys. I tell you, this is just one of the prettiest topper sets I've seen in a long time, and they do good topper sets all the time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's number 2. Here's our last one we just did. I'll have these kits available hopefully tomorrow.
Back towards you just slightly. Up, back towards you. There you go.
And here's the one we just did. Are you ready to see our Saturday. I actually have show and tell today. I'm so excited. You ready to see our Saturday class? I'm ready to show you. Are you ready? Here they come. Okay. Now, I want to get these so that they can see these because the images are small on some of them. Is that going to be seeable?
No.
No? Can I go closer? What if I went closer to the iPhone? Oh, that's too small an image anyway.
Maybe take it down. See what we can do here.
I sent you a link, Brenda. Did you get it?
I now hold it up toward the iPhone.
The little picture-in-picture
Definitely
window's so
better.
small, though.
I just expanded it.
Oh, okay.
It will be expanded shortly here.
Okay. This is the dragon. Yes, dragon scales in the background. A castle with dragons flying in front of it.
Just about to expand.
Okay. And the greeting on this one says, where there is kindness, there is goodness, and where there is goodness, there is magic. This one says, let your dreams soar. And once again, it is one dragon on the ground and another dragon flying in front of a castle.
Good.
Okay, next. This one says, the sky's not the limit, it's only the beginning.
Okay, good.
Next, this is another one where one dragon's on the ground and one is flying in front of the castle, and it says, wishing you the best of luck. And those are coming out pretty good on the screen. Oops. This one says, to a wonderful friend. We're going to get 6 cards out of Saturday's class. And finally, this one does not have a greeting on it because I used every one of them. It easily could have a black sticker greeting or a black die cut greeting. There you go. So Saturday, 6 cards. Kit will have everything. I will get these kits put together hopefully tomorrow, maybe tonight, but most probably tomorrow. And we will be all ready for Saturday. I can't show you next Thursday yet because I don't have it, but it will be either the unicorns or the
Fairies.
fairies. And to know which one, I'm going to need to make them up, and the one with the lesser number of cards will be our Thursday night, because I try to keep you not quite as long on Thursday nights. But these are so, so pretty. So that's it. If you haven't already given me the thumbs up, would you do that, please? Just hit that little thumbs up button to tell me that you like what you're seeing. And, oh, we don't have class next Thursday. Thank you, Alice. Yes, we will not have class next Thursday or the following Thursday because of Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, but we will have classes on those Saturdays. So we'll do the fairies and the unicorn on the next 2 weeks. And I'm going to get in and get those done so that hopefully I can get ahead of you before the new year and keep with my New Year's resolution to try and stay ahead of you. And we will see you on Saturday, I hope, for the dragon class. And yeah, if you haven't already done the thumbs up, please do that. It makes me feel good and it helps our YouTube statistics. And I hope you guys are all having a fun time getting ready for Christmas. Don't get too stressed out. Take some time for you along the way. And thank you all for being here. And we will see you on Saturday. So good night, Gracie.